What's up guys, this is David, and today I'm going to show you how to install and remove your skateboard bearings. One question we get a lot is whether or not you need skateboard bearing spacers. We definitely recommend picking up the spacers, keeps everything nice and aligned, and makes this job a lot easier. I'll put a link in the description below for the ones we recommend. Alright, to get started, just go ahead and unscrew that axle nut off. Be careful not to push down on the bearing shields, you don't want to smash them. Unthread the nut, and then you'll have your little speed ring here. Take that guy off. And then you can see when you lift it out, you want to lift it out so that you can get through the first bearing, but then still inside the spacer. So then you pry it back and forth like that, and then the spacer will come off and the bearing will come off. You have your bearing inside, just put that on backwards, and then just pry it right off, and you've got your two bearings free. Now that we've removed the bearings, I'm going to show you how to install the new set. So to get started, you're just going to go ahead and take your skate tool, zip off the axle nut here, put that off to the side, and you're going to have two speed rings on the axle. So take one of the two speed rings off, set that aside, grab one of your bearings, and the bearing's either going to have only one shield, such as this one, or it'll have a shield on both sides. If it has a shield on both sides, you don't have to worry about which way you put the bearing on, but if it only has one shield, you're going to put that facing outwards because you want that shield to protect the bearing from the elements. Next part is going to be the spacer. Go ahead and just slip that right on down. And then you're going to take your next bearing, and then we're going to put the shield facing the opposite direction on this one, because when we take our wheel here, we're going to put the graphic face or the outside face down, and just go ahead and press that on. And the bearing should be seated inside. On some of the wheels, like the shortboard wheels, it might be a little bit harder to press that in there because of the harder duro of the wheel, but the principle is going to be the same way. Don't worry about damaging it. If you use this exactly like I'm showing you, you will not damage the shields. Second thing is now everything's going to be all lined up, so we're just going to drop that right in, punch it down. You'll have all the threads there. The bearings will be seated. Take your speed ring, drop that right on there, and take your axle nut, put that right on there, and then go ahead and tighten that on down. Being careful not to press down on the shields because we don't want to damage them. If you hear that little clicking noise, that's good. That means the bearing's seating. The bearing should spin freely on here, but if it does kind of get a little bit tight, you're just going to back it off just a little bit, and it should spin nice and free. All right, guys, that's it. You're all set and ready to go. If you have any questions, our email's below, and shred safe out there.